Before we review the shoe, you know what we gotta do. Oh yeah, I love that. One more. Oh yeah, always love me a fresh pair of J's. Nothing could beat that for a fact. What is good, guys? It's Raps Kicks back at it again with another review, and today we are reviewing the Air Jordan 5 Grape, originally released in 1999. These hit the scene and were a different take on Michael Jordan's shoes because they did not use the Chicago Bulls color scheme, which is red, white, and black. So these are totally different from what the norm was. And these were very well known and are still very well known because of the show Fresh Prince. Will Smith wore these a lot on that show, and I thought these were always dope. So let's get into it. In all, this is the fourth release from the OG to the newest release. They're released 4 times. The Grape has also had another 2 renditions. One was the Black Grape, which the upper came in an all black suede and had the colors reversed, but was still named the alternate Grape, as well as another model that came exactly like this, except the lace holes had no laces and they were covered up. So people had to punch out the lace holes to get the original Grape 5s. And there has been also a fusion back then when they did fusions with the Air Force Ones and Jordans. They had an Air Force One Jordan that looked like this with the same colors and everything. I thought that was dope. Fun fact, I had the lime green 6s, the Air Force One collaboration. They were an all-white upper with neon green hits. Thought they were so dope. Loved them. It sucked. One night I went out drinking and threw up on them and they got really ruined. So that's a memory I have with the Air Jordan Fusions when they were doing the collaboration with the Air Force One line. So a couple things before we get into the review. These shoes remind me, now tell me if I'm tripping, tell me if this is just me or not, but these shoes remind me of those cups from the 80s and 90s, the white Dixie cups with the squiggly lines that have purple. I think it had purple, but it definitely had like that light blue on them. I'll throw a picture of them on screen right now. Let me know if these kicks remind you of that cup back then from the 80s and 90s. But to move on to something else, if y'all are planning to stock these and not rock these, I don't think that'd be a good idea, just because this netting right here will turn yellow within a couple years if they sit. Even with wear, they're gonna turn yellow. So just keep that in mind and rock your kicks. I like to do that. Definitely rock my kicks. I will keep some on ice, but eventually I do break them all out and they will get worn. There are still some shoes that I need to break out and put on the toe, but let's get on to the review. We're gonna do what we usually do, start from the bottom, work our way up. So to start off at the top of the sole of the shoe, you got your black toe cap right here that eventually, it doesn't have much traction. It's very light traction. It gets worn away within a couple wears, but here's where all the traction happens on the translucent sole. You got your clear icy blue sole, and then you got your tealish Jumpman on the bottom, looking really nice. I've always loved the sole of the 5s. It's one of my favorite soles out of the Air Jordan line. Next to the mid part of the sole, you got your midpoint right here with the white Nike right there. Moving on to the bottom, you got the rest of the translucent sole, and that's looking good. Always loved that, but these will yellow, but thankfully they threw on that blue tint to kind of reduce the time it takes for it to get completely yellow, but I'll still rock them even if they're yellow. So we gonna move up to the upper now. Right here, you have the sole peeking out just a little bit. Then you get right here to the actual midsole and you have your air unit. Those have clear white air bubbles in them. And you got your purple midsole. I love this purple so much. I don't know about you guys, but back then, who remembers that song, Everything is Purple? And just purple was an it color back then. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I used to love purple back then. And then you got your shark teeth right here in the teal, looking very nice. A nice pop of color, I think, that goes perfect with that purple. Next, you're gonna go to your toe cap, and you got your white toe cap right here. You gotta watch out for that because that will yellow and get dirty. Next is the leather upper. This leather is pretty nice. I've seen people have different like cuts of the leather. This is looking real plush and bendable. It's gonna crease, but not that horrible. But as you could see, it has a little give to it, leaves a little bit of wrinkles. Like in that, it's not real stiff like the leather up here. It's real stiff right there. But I feel like that will look good over time. Next, you got your clear netting that makes it so it's breathable because there's mesh right behind that. Next, to the back part, you got one of the best parts of the shoe, if not the best part of the shoe for some people. You got the Nike Air in that light teal on the back. The Nike Air is just so iconic and important to the Jordan line, and it's always nice to see when they put those on retros or other models such as collaborations. And you got your black heel counter right here, the purple midsole still wrapping around the back right there. We go to the side, it's more or less the same thing as the opposite side. You got some more black right here, your air unit. Instead of multiple shark teeth, you got one teal blue shark teeth right there. Next, you move up and you got your lace holes. There's a lot of lace holes, so you could customize your fit or how tight you like it. Comes with white laces only. And you get up here and the tongue has white mesh under the laces, as you could see. Let me know if you guys have done lace swaps on these. I feel like it'd look pretty cool with some purple laces or some teal blue laces. Real fire. You got your lace lock right here. It's clear. The wing lace lock portion is clear and it says Nike on it. And then you got your black lace lock. Next, you move on up. You got your tongue. You got your teal Jumpman, looking real nice with that satin purple, looking real good. I love that tongue. That purple just makes it pop. And behind that purple tongue, you got your teal with the Air Jordan patch written upside down. So if you look at it the other way, it'll say Air Jordan. But that is about it. These are an amazing pair of shoes, perfect for summer. I'm gonna start rocking mine soon. I've been preoccupied wearing the Air Jordan 4 white cements, really loving those. I've been throwing a lot of fits together with those. I already got some Star Loss on those. If you want, you could go check out my shorts, check out for some inspiration. If you need any inspiration for a fit, check out my short section. I think you'll like what you find there. But that about wraps it up for this review. I'm gonna give these a cool 9 Or actually, I take that back. I'm gonna take these down to like an 8.5. I really like these a lot, but they're just not my favorite 5. Quality is good. I checked out my other pair. There's really not no glue stains or anything. You got a little glue string right there. I don't know if you could see that on the teal blue shark teeth, but nothing too crazy, no crazy stitching. And on my other pair, it's perfect as well. No paint defects, which I always love. Definitely, when you're paying 200 and above, you don't want to see any defects. Let me know if I'm tripping. But that is about it. Quick question for y'all. How do y'all lace your Jordan 5s? How do you guys like to do it? I like to do it like this, how it comes from the factory, so the Jumpman could kind of like still stick out. Let me know if that's just me, or do you guys like to lace it to the second hole? I've done it before. I like the snugger fit and how it feels on my ankle, but I'd rather just have it like this and have it be single laced at the bottom. And another question, do you guys ever use the lace lock, or do you take those off and put them down here or in the middle? I know some people do that, but I just leave it like that. I want to try it with the 6s one day, but other than that, signing out. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know, have you started rocking your Air Jordan 5 Grapes OG? Comment down below. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.